Good morning for those of you that are out there watching. I don't know if anyone is yet. Maybe nobody. If anybody's on, give me a holler. Let me know you can hear me and probably see me. That would help. Live from JTH Construction Studio. It is way too early with Kevin, better known as Coffee with Kevin. What if that's too loud? What if that helped? That'll help. Anyway, just wanted to get on here this morning and chit chat a little bit. I'm getting text messages. Anyway, how we doing, folks? Saturday morning. It's going to be kind of a hot, humid day. Storms later on tonight into tomorrow. We got a lot of stuff we can go over here directly. I want to talk about the week past. I want to talk about things going on this evening, tonight, tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, Beth. I will mention that. Only one soul is brave to be on here right now. Like and share, like and share. All right, let's talk about some things coming up. Today we have 9 o'clock to 1 p.m. the farmers market here in town. If you've not been to that, go by there. Stop by there. It's right there on Main Street. Check it out. Krista and everybody involved with that do a wonderful job with that place. Lots of cool stuff there. Lots of cool little vendors, veggies, food, crafts, and just a lot of good people there. And then, of course, you can go inside to Sarah's Goodies, and cure your sugar rush because her food is outstanding. Her treats are outstanding. That is today from 9 to 1. South School tonight. I didn't know about this. Veronica Miller had posted about this. South School tonight, 5 to 8. It's open house. They have games. They have touch a truck, face painting, hot dogs, coney dogs, refreshments. Just all sorts of stuff. And that's a good location there. It's South School on, I think, the only way open to Walmart right now. So stop over there 5 to 8. I'm getting messages from Beth and at Fables and Fairy Tales, join us for an author meet and the great book signed by H.T. Martineau. Take your picture with a real shield and replica of Mara's Dragonwolf axe. This is something that I don't know anything about. So, and Heidi, the individual, the art cover creator, Heidi Thompson will be there. They're having a raffle that day. So that's at Fables and Fairy Tales. If you know anything about the author or the book, stop by there. That'll be a fun event for you. No concert at Cedar Creek tonight. We'll get to the concert date about tomorrow, but around town today, live music at Cedar Creek, at Greeks, and at the Legion. And if we track down who's where, I will tell you. But that's 3 venues you can go to today if you want to hear some music, decent food, maybe have an adult beverage. I'm just saying. Cedar Creek, Greeks, and at the American Legion here in town. Tomorrow at Cedar Creek, you have a makeup date. And these are 2 outstanding bands if you've not went and seen them. A lot of rock here. I just spit all over the place. Toy Factory and Jambox. A lot of fun. A lot of hair. And I think I'll have some tickets to give away to that if I can find my tickets. They were relocated on me. But I think we'll have some tickets to give away on that. So keep an eye on that. Okay. So we'll have some tickets to give away to that for tomorrow. But tonight around town, you have Cedar Creek, Greeks, and Legion. You got the farmers market. You've got South School tonight, 5 to 8. Open house. So some fun stuff to do. in and around the city. I'd like to say, first off, thank you to my sponsors, American Basement Solutions. I had the wrong paper, man. American Basement Solutions, Fathom Real Estate, Drink the Creek, Cedar Creek, Bland Boys Lawn Care, findhelp.org, Wayman's Furniture, Appliance, and Mattress, Wellsprings, Stids Comfort System, Who's Your Web Nerd, and of course, Logan's Cosmos Hair Diva. Get a hold of Logan for your hairstyle, your tinsel. We've got a relative coming down today from Greenwood. She's a little gal. She's a cheerleader for one of the Greenwood leagues. And she got a hold of Logan last week, and she's like, do you have gold and green tinsel? So Logan's going to do her up real well, and hopefully we'll get a picture of that. I think she did her hair out at the fair, and Miss Diva pranced around there for 20 minutes with just a couple strands of tinsel. They like that stuff, so that'll be fun for her. But hats off to Coach Duggar and the Arties last night as they went down to Bedford and defeated the North Lawrence Stars 28-14. And Bedford was that's a pretty good win. Bedford was supposed to be a high-powered offense this year and improved. They had some kids coming back, and Coach was worried about this game. I think at one point in time it was 28-0. I think Bedford got a couple late, but that's a good win because next Friday night we will be back in the booth in time for Bloomington South at Martinsville. And if you know anything about Martinsville sports, you can talk Mooresville, Martinsville, all this. The games that we want to win every year is against Bloomington South. And that is next Friday night. I'm telling you, pack that stadium. Come cheer this team on. What is it, $5 or whatever to get in? Go there, root these kids on against their biggest rival. And hopefully we can get a win. South's always tough. So it is Coffee with Kevin. And that's made right there on my little machine. It's good stuff. Anyway, looking forward to that next week. Let me get back to my page here so I can kind of keep track of what the heck I'm doing. Lots of yard sales today. If you're a yard sale person, there's plenty of yard sales. Beth is on. Beth Duncan, PJ. How we doing, folks? Anything going on that I've missed? Anybody want to add? Farmers Market 9 to 1. South School tonight. Open house 5 to 8. Touch a truck. Face painting. Hot dog. Coney dogs. Games. Music around town. The Legion. Greeks and Cedar Creek. Tomorrow out at Cedar Creek, you have Toy Factory and Jam Box. It's a good weekend of music. This past week, what's up, Steve? How you doing, sir? This past week on the show, Beth covered. Good morning, Beth Duncan. Beth covered the dedication to the Ruth Rusey Library at Wellsprings, Bob Goodrum's group. Thought that was very cool. Bob's a good dude, and that does a lot of fantastic things for our community. And Ruth Rusey is a local legend, and so that was a very neat event Beth covered. I didn't jog. I ended up over at North School, where they had the open house over there, and they had basically the same stuff, touch a truck and some things like that with Randy, and it's a good group over there for the Head Start. Frida, thank you. There is a tailgate party at Smith Elementary. What time does that start, Frida? For next Friday night's home game against South. When we get the time on that, I will say it. We had the 4-H girls in here and Rena Sheldon from the Purdue Extension Office. Folks, and I got to take a picture of this, post this. You want to get your kid involved in something really cool? Get on that. I'm going to take a picture of that and post that online here. 5 o'clock. Tailgate party for next Friday night. Bloomington South game starts at 5 o'clock at Smith Elementary School. Thank you, Frida. If we can get there in time, we might go live there for a minute, but then we will be up in the booth. We had these gals in here. It was all gals this weekend, but there are boys involved for the 4-H kids. just a phenomenal group of kids. And we need programs like this. And you want that to survive and thrive and keep growing. And Rena does a wonderful job with it. The kids loved her. Morning, Tim. So any way you can help them out, just that's something that we need. And next year's fair is going to be bigger and better. And just these kids will be involved more. Everything will be back together again. And we're going to support them and do what we can to promote them. Maybe each month we're going to try to have them come in. They're just a blast, and looking forward to that. So anyway, that was part of the shows this week. And then, excuse me, Thursday night we had Angie Turley and Teresa Messmer in. We haven't got a name yet. It's Angie Turley T Teresa Messmer T and Angie Turley A. They wanted to say the T&A show, and I was like, that's going to get us in trouble. Oh, Corey. Thank you, CB. I'm so glad he said that. That is something that I totally spaced on. Junior Football League opens up today. Anybody has any game times and things like that, let me know. Thank you, Corey. But we had Teresa and Angie in here. They talked real estate. They're going to come in about once a month also. And those ladies know a lot about real estate. Both fun gals. And look forward to that each month. I am tracking down the individual, Zach, from Indiana Storm Chasers. I need to get with him and get him on the show. He does great work. Down-to-earth guy. And follow them, Indiana Storm Chasers, on Facebook if you can. I just like the way he does business, and if we can get him on air, we will. And eventually, once we get our webpage up, I would love to have them, their link tied to our page where you can just click on it and go to, because our webpage is coming along. My nephew plays at Franklin, so not sure of the times to play here at Saddlesville. Thank you, CB. Prayers to Corey. He's got some stuff going on family-wise, so CB, you know you're always with us, and hopefully everything comes out well for you guys this weekend and moving forward. You can't ask for a better person than that man right there, and his wife and his family, and I'm one of the lucky ones that get to see him pretty much on a daily basis. He is a gentle giant, a big teddy bear, but we love him. CB, third grade at 11 at Franklin. Thank you, Beth. Lots of football. Football has officially started. Martinsville goes down to Bedford, puts it to them, which we're used to that. I hate saying that, but we're kind of used to going down to Bedford. Any Bedford fans on? You just got to know. Now, you've had your moments in basketball with Damon and the Bushes and everybody else, but we kind of put it to you in football because I played on the team that played in the Dome, and we put it to you that day up there too. So, but next week we got to bring it. Next week the fans got to show up, got to come hard. It's Bloomington South, looking to go 2-0. Hello, Donna. I don't know if Bloomington won or lost last night, nor do I care. Bloomington fans, I'm sorry, it's just the rivalry. It is what it is. I mean, come on. I got 2 kids that live down there. Better not be wearing purple. There's a no purple policy this week. We just don't allow that. It's South Week. This is like Purdue versus IU, Duke versus North Carolina, Bears versus the Packers. It's Bloomington versus Martinsville. It's that big. I don't know if you can call it a rivalry as much anymore because we haven't put it to them in a while. So we need to get that win and get that rivalry back on track. And it's good for the community. We have fun with it. All right. What else I have? Oh, I have all sorts of notes. All sorts of notes. Kind of rehash. It's going to be a hot, muggy day today. Back to summer as we click off the days of summer. Good morning, Teresa. hot and muggy. Storms later tonight is what I was seeing. So you'll have time to go to the farmer's market. Get out there at 9 o'clock. It's opens here in about 40 minutes. It's open 9 to 1. Stop in there and say, hey, Kevin was just talking about you on Porch Time. Actually have one of the yard signs out in my yard now, just to remind people. South School tonight, 5 to 8. Touch a Truck. They have games, face painting, hot dogs, Coney dogs. Can't go wrong there. It's an open house. It's open to the public. I'm sure they have bounce houses too. Nothing better than getting a bounce house on a 90-degree day. I know. So that'll be fun. Stop over there. Around town, you have music at Greeks, at Cedar Creek, and the Legion. If you want to go and enjoy a nice cold adult beverage and listen to music, those are 3 options here in town. Tomorrow night, out at Cedar Creek, it's a makeup date. It is Toy Factory and Jambox, and they both rock. And it is a hell of a show. And if you want to go, we may have some tickets for that. I got to find it. If we do, I'll pop back on here later today sometime. I may try to end up out at the open house briefly later tonight. If we do, I'll let you know about tickets, and I'll come back in the studio and we'll give them away. What's up, Quentin? So, don't forget that tonight, open house, South School. That'll be fun. What else I got? Again, thank you. Awesome job by the Arties. It is Bloomington South Week officially now, so no purple. In the past week, we had the dedication to the Ruth Rusey Library by Wellsprings, Bob Goodrum's group. Beth went live there. I stopped by the open house at North School, Randy and the gang over there for Head Start. Phenomenal. We had Arena Sheldon in studio. I want to call her Renee. Rena Sheldon in studio with the 4-H kids. Unbelievable group. Support them where you can. If your child is interested, some of these kids have been involved for like 9, 10, 11 years with 4-H. You don't have to have an animal. You don't have to have a cow, a sheep, a llama, a hog. What else were they saying? There's cats. There's archery. It's so much more to that than I even knew. It was a very informative show. It's on the community page. It's on the LLC page. If you want to find it, go back and watch it. The kids are great. Rena does a wonderful job with them, and we're going to support them. We're going to try to have them come in once a month and maybe bring new information, and then as we get closer to the fair, really push it, because I like that. I like what they do, and it's a necessity to our community. What's up, Rich? All the way up in California. How you doing, Mr. Woods? It's awful early for you, isn't it, sir? He's up doing PT, if I know him. And of course, we had Angie and Teresa in studio this past week. It's the real estate show. I use that term loosely because 90% of it's real estate and 100% of it is nothing but fun, and those two guys being themselves. They will be on a monthly also. Don't forget, YouTube, if you go to the YouTube channel, if she's saying if you can get 5,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, Porch Times, by December 1st, if you subscribe, you have a chance to win $500 if we get to 5,000 subscribers. That is a deal that Angie and Teresa are doing. If we get 5,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, and it is Porch Time LLC-Martinsville, by December 1st, you'll be put in a drawing for a chance to win a $500 gift card, which is very cool of them to do that. That is nothing that we brought up. They did that on their own. So go to YouTube, search Porch Time LLC-Martinsville, and you'll see the clock tower and all that. And you'll know. A lot of our videos are on there. And I think we try to upload them every now and then. Eventually, we'd like to. They instantly go. That's something we're working on. Once we get that web page up and done, we'll be able to do stuff like that. Morning, Jack. How you doing, Mr. Like? So that's about it on the notes. I will refresh all that here and again in a minute, or rehash all that again here in a minute. But other than that, it's a beautiful Saturday morning. It's going to be a hot one. I'm good, sir. It is going to be a hot one, but it is late summer in central Indiana. We have these days. The fair came and went so quick, and next thing you know, we're already at Labor Day, pretty much. And that should be a fun weekend. Labor Day out at Cedar Creek is going to be insane, and I cannot wait for this, honestly. Ultimate Garth Brooks on the 3rd, and from what I'm hearing, Mr. Mayfield, how you doing, sir? The guy that does the Garth Brooks thing could play Garth Brooks in the movie. And you've got an Innocent Band with Billy Joe tribute band, and you have Duke Tomato. How fun is that? And also Jenny DeVoe. That's all on September 3rd. Ultimate Garth Brooks, Innocent Band, Duke Tomato, Jenny DeVoe. Boom. September 4th, and those start at 2 p.m. Hello, Christine. September 4th, you got Kid Kentucky, which is a Kid Rock tribute band. Big Country, Gene Deere, Gordon Bonham, and Phil Purley. I mean, that's outstanding. That'll be a fun weekend out there. A senior retreat is having its first annual fishing tournament, 924 at Bradford Woods. So I imagine you can get a hold of Susan or Teresa or Angie on that for information, but it's out at Bradford Woods. And I remember they mentioned that on the show, and I thought I wrote some stuff down on that, but my notes are not here. That'll be a fun time. And that's Susan has done wonders with that group, and she is an amazing human being. All right. I'm moving slow this morning. Need sponsors. They need sponsors for that event. 924 at Bradford Woods, if you'd like to be a sponsor of that event. Get a hold of Teresa or Susan or Angie Turley. "24 minutes strong." Let's recap one more time. It's going to be a hot one today. Storms later on tonight. Kind of the same scenario for tomorrow. Actually, it's going to be storms in the morning, then hot the rest of the day. I am getting a hold of Zach from Indiana Storm Chasers. Going to try to have him on air. Seems like a good dude, like what he does. And we like to stay on top for our weather around here. So we will have him on soon enough. 9 o'clock in about a half an hour, Farmers Market. I may try to swing by there. I doubt I go live, but I just like going over there. So Farmers Market, 9 to 1. Stop by there. South School tonight, 5 to 8. Touch a truck, face painting, hot dogs, games, Coney dogs. It's an open house for South School. And then, of course, around town today, you have music at the Legion, Cedar Creek, and at Greek's Pizzeria here in town. Music all over the place. So if you want to go hear some music, maybe get a drink or two, plenty of good locations. Guys on our sponsors, if you see our sponsors out like Teresa, tell them, hey, I heard you on Porch Time. You got American Basement Solutions. That's Larry Ralph's group. Fathom Real Estate. That's Teresa Messmer. Drink the Creek, Cedar Creek. Atlanta Boys Lawn Care. Findhelp.org. We got to get Judge on here. That's Judge Wayman's group. Wayman's Furniture, Appliance, and Mattress. Wellspring. Stids Comfort Systems. Who's Your Web Nerd? And Logan's Cosmos. I think Logan's going to be out at the Farmers Market following weekend doing some tinseling. So say hey to our sponsors. They like to know. Oh, Logan gave you a new do. I did not know. She didn't tell me. She normally tells me when I have somebody. As a matter of fact, I think she's like, yesterday she called me. She goes, do you remember your 5th grade teacher? And I was like, it was Mrs. Rosenbaum over at, I was at Smith at that point in time. How much is a fishing tournament? I don't think it's open to the public, Wendell. Teresa will have to answer that. I don't want to speak out of turn. She calls me and says, "Who was your fifth grade teacher?" I said, "Mrs. Rosenbaum." And I guess she was in the salon while Logan was working. She already has a gal that does her hair. And she said, "I was your dad's fifth grade teacher." So I thought, I'll have to look that up because she couldn't remember her first name. And I want to say Mary, but that doesn't sound right. I said, I just knew her as Mrs. Rosenbaum. Back then, that's how we addressed teachers, Mr. and Mrs. So it is open to the public. I did not know that. Marilyn, Julie. Thank you, Julie. And does she not live over there by where Sunrise Edition, or your mom in that little addition there? Am I correct in saying that? But yes, she was like, I taught your dad in fifth grade. Okay, so I was correct. I forget how I know that. Where can I find info on said tournament? I think Teresa's going to help you out there, Wendell. Thank you, Julie. Marilyn, I will have to tell Logan that today. But I mean, I couldn't remember Marilyn as Mrs. Rosenbaum or Mr. Rosenbaum or Mrs. Asher or us, Mrs. Ringler. Second grade, I can't remember. Mrs. Jarrett. We had Mr. Baston. And those are some great names in education in this community. Hubert Baston was, and I remember his name, but Hubert Baston was one of the Bertelsons. Mr. Baston was outstanding. Ringler, Jarrett, Asher, Rosenbaum. I can't remember my fourth grade teacher. Ringler was first. Jarrett, I think, was third. Asher was maybe fourth. I can't remember my second grade teacher. And then Mrs. Rosenbaum, fifth grade. Good people. I had some really good teachers growing up. And Mrs. Ringler is still on here, and I remind her every time she pops on here that she whacked me in first grade. The Bertelsons is my husband's family. Yeah, they were good people. They were outstanding teachers. Mrs. Ringler gave me a spanking in first grade. It's still iffy. I still don't think I deserved it, but I got a good whack. It's got some wood across the bottom. And there may have been other whacks along the way, but that was the henchman. I agree with that, Julie. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I mean, some of the names that Mr. Bennett was a coach. I didn't get him as a teacher, but I had Mr. Emge, who I still, he was tough, but he taught you so much more about life than just PE and sports and things like that. And nothing but respect for that man to this day. Just some good people. Mr. Hannaford, loved him. Loved Mr. Hannaford. This was in junior high. I'm skipping over a few because I just didn't care for. We all have our favorites. Mr. Bell, how could I not? And Mr. Smith. And you know what was funny? I grew up in that era where Mr. Smith was still around, Craig's dad, and we all ran together, as Julie well knows. Mr. Jeff Bell, myself, Craig Smith, Brad Shields, Chris Sheets, and myself were all pretty tight little group. And you had Craig's dad as the principal, which is now Smith, and you had Jeff's dad, who was the principal at it was East Elementary and East Middle at the time. And we got to go through both of them before going on to the high school. And now Jeffrey Bellcat is the main guy at the high school. And I was so disappointed he couldn't come in the other night, but we're going to get him in here. Hopefully, we'll see him up at the press box next Friday night. Not seen Jeff in a very long time. I think he's my class president, too. I have to remind him of that. He's to make himself more visible, Mr. President. Jeff's a good dude. Always was. Great family. Loved his mom and dad. Julie, I believe, is still best friends with his sister. I think she lives out west of us. I can't remember where. But I think she comes home every now and then. But just a great family. And our high school's lucky to have him. Iowa. I wanted to say Iowa, but I know I've got Christina and Michelle that lives in Iowa, and I wasn't for sure if Suzanne lived in Iowa or not. Friends of the show out that way. We've got a little crowd forming in Iowa now of Villians. So interesting. Yeah, a lot of good educators come from this little town, and some fine people, both in the classroom and outside. And the Bells and the Smiths of the world really made a difference in a lot of our lives moving forward as young people into being a young adult. And couldn't have better role models than Craig's dad or Jeff's dad. Those were outstanding people. Yes. She needs to get... Did you hear that lineup for the 3rd? I mean, that is outstanding. You're exactly right. And the 4th. It'll be a fun weekend out there. I intend to fully enjoy that weekend. I don't know if we'll be live. I don't know who will be in our best interest to be live. Teresa, are you messaging Wendell? I don't want to end it in the middle of you guys communicating without getting information. Julie, love you, girl. I've known that young lady since she could walk. Chris and I have been buddies for, I think, since 4th grade, if not sooner, 3rd grade. What's funny is I went to school, my original 1st grade class and Mrs. Ringler's class, and now you're going to understand why I got a whipping. Myself and some kid named Alfred, Sean Alford, and I were buddies, 1st grade. I gave him my email address to get it. Thank you, Teresa. Sean Alford and I were buddies in 1st grade. Yeah, he's got a brother we all may know and a dad we all know, Steve and Sam. They were good people, and Sean would have been in our class also, but they moved away to Newcastle, and the rest is history. But when we got beat by Warren Central, no problem at all. That's why we're here, buddy. That's why I give the information. That's why I pop on here. I like doing that, and now she's got someone that can possibly be involved. When we got beat by Warren Central our senior year in the Final Four, we're all in the locker room crying and boo-hooing, and because we wanted to play one more game and beat Hobart for the state championship. Sean came in the locker room. That was the first time I'd seen him since 1st grade, and I thought that was really cool. I don't know if Steve was there. I know his dad was there, and Sean was there, because that was his graduating class. He would have graduated with us. So we might have had been called the Super Six if he'd stayed around, Julie. Fearsome 5 may not have been enough. It's good stuff. Anyway, reminiscing. All right, 35 minutes in. I'll recap one more time, then we'll call it a day, so you guys can get out and enjoy the day and do your business. Farmers Market, 9 o'clock, 20 minutes. Stop over there. Tell Krista Kevin told me to come. There's some 5. It may have been the Super 6 if Sean stayed around, Julie. 9 to 1, Farmers Market. Right there on Main Street across from H&R Block at the main connection. Have a great day. Angie and I are meeting soon for another brainstorming session. Let us know if there's any specific thing the listeners want to hear. I'm heading out. Stay safe and it's cool today. You too, Teresa. God bless you. Love you, gal. See our sponsors out like her. Tell them you heard her business on Porch Time. They like knowing. South School tonight. They'll have games. They'll have touch a truck. They'll have bounce houses, I'm sure. Face painting, hot dogs, coney dogs, drinks, refreshments. That's an open house. It's open to the public. South School. It's the nice newest building over there as you go down the back way to Walmart. Stop over there tonight, 5 to 8. That'll be fun. Around town, you have music at Greeks, the Legion, and at Cedar Creek. I don't know exactly who's playing where, but there's 3 options for you to go get a nice drink and listen to some music. Sunday, Cedar Creek. It's a makeup date. Toy Factory and Jam Box. We may have tickets for that a little later on today. Congrats to Coach Duggar and the Arties as they move to 1-0. And it's South Week. No purple. Let's pack the house next week. Let's fill that baby up. Let's bring it back to the old days when there's about 10,000 people there, 3 deep all the way around the fence. You got the Junior League football players. You got buses coming in from out of town. Let's have some fun on Friday night and beat South. Love you guys. Thanks as always for tuning in. Go out there and have a good day. It's beautiful out right now. So I'm sure I'll pop back on this weekend. I don't know if I got a show tomorrow night or not. We've had so many. On the Panthers. There you go, Julie. Exactly. Julie knows. She knows. No purple this week. Love you guys. Stay safe. We will see you soon.